This is not an airplane. You do not have seat belts. You do not have to stay seated and buckled when we arrive in Whittier. I will not ask you to return your tray tables to the upright position. None of that matters. We're this is the safest transportation industry in the world. So we're gonna be fine today. You're welcome to move up. You're welcome to walk around. You can go downstairs. You can do whatever you want to. But as we get rolling, obviously you're gonna start to feel the back and forth. Alaska is the earthquake capital of the world, so we thought we'd introduce it with a 10-hour-long earthquake simulator, complete with a fault line that goes down the middle. So you may have noticed this little 3-inch step. It may have already tripped you up. I'll probably trip on it a couple of times just to provide a bad example for you guys. But be mindful of that step all day long as you go up and down in your seats. We want you to have a good vacation, so don't have a bad trip. I'll be here all day. So, remember that step. Now, those of you in the balcony, you don't have a step, which is nice. However, if you come this direction, the step makes a reappearance, so keep that in mind as you go. If you decide you want to take a walk down the hallway, we have a reminder, 3 points of contact. On a rolling train, 2 feet, just don't cut it. So add a hand, not into somebody's hat, but on the headrest. You will be glad that you turned yourself into a tripod and gave yourself extra stability, especially if you happen to be on a bridge and you see everybody leaning over to the side. This is the Riley Creek Bridge, by the way. This is the 3rd highest bridge on the line. That yellowish orange rock is called Moon Rock. Crew members on this train like to climb up there in the afternoon and show everybody in the midnight sun the full moon. Get to the locomotive, stop. It is absolutely not okay to get on the locomotive. I'm not allowed to even touch that machine. And so please don't even attempt to. Matter this, has a name. There's so many peaks in the Alaska range that they haven't named every single one. Main body of the ice jam, as is quite obvious. Itself is also ADA compliant, so you can take wheelchairs. We don't get good morning for this. We usually have to stop. This is not the tunnel. This is a tunnel. This is the Bear Valley Tunnel. This is the first of 2 tunnels that we're going to go through.
The kids were going to have, there wasn't much for the kids there, so they wanted, for the 2 youngest kids, they're still.
It was nice.
If you see a beaver, call it out. It's kind of uncommon to see them. They like to stay submerged. So if you see a beaver, you're probably only going to spot a little V-shaped ripple in the water and just its nose, just barely above the water. If you lived in the lower 48, you might mistake it as a turtle, but we don't have turtles in Alaska. We don't have snakes either. We don't have fleas, we don't have ticks. It's a great state to own a dog in.
One little frog. What's that? One little frog. One little wood frog.
Which freezes solid in the winter. All right, Shannon Cartwright's house is coming up just on the track east side. And I don't know if she's gonna be there or not today. She was in Anchorage last week. She may have decided to hang out for a little while. You can definitely see the tracks of her ATV coming around and in. And again, she does not have a front driveway. This is her front driveway. There's her cabin. And that little log cabin, the blue end, is her bookshop. That is where the Iditarod starts every single year. That little yellow building right there, that's the Sunshine Plaza. That's where the Iditarod sled dog race starts every year, and that's also where the fur rendezvous fur auction takes place every year, the one I've attended. And right here also is the Anchorage Historical Rail Depot. If you're taking an Alaska Railroad branded train, not our trains, but the other gold trains, the blue trains we've seen, this is where you get on board this. This dates to 1943. You get one more view of that Sunshine Plaza in case the Iditarod comment came a little bit too late. That's also where the Alaska Mint is, and the gold coins, the gold and silver coins that we're selling on board, those are manufactured right there out of silver and gold that is mined out of the state. So those gold coins, you're buying a chunk of the actual state when you get. Speaking of the earthquake damage, we're rolling through a section called Bootlegger Cove. If we've got any geologists on board, you might have heard of the phenomenon called Bootlegger Cove clay. This is a specific kind of clay that when the ground shakes, that clay lines up all in a row, turns into a liquid, and just washes right out. If you look very carefully, these apartments and these condos seem to be built in a stair-step pattern. That is because those stairs literally collapsed into the inlet in 1964, and some of them were large enough and stable enough to build on. You can see one of those fractures right here. That is Bootlegger's Cove, and that is a 1964 fault slip right there. And you might notice a pattern with some of the glaciers. We had Burns Glacier, Byron Glacier. There's, on the other side is Whittier Glacier, and what used to be called Longfellow Glacier, but it's since been renamed. And then the glacier that's out of sight around the corner is actually Shakespeare Glacier. You notice the theme? So we call this little elbow Poets' Corner. Poets' Corner, because all the glaciers are named after English poets on this side of the mountain, American poets on the other side of the mountain. And the U.S. Geological Survey, they did themes like that. Well, when we were in Avalanche Alley, that was Penguin Ridge, and all the peaks were named after species of penguins because, of course, we're just swarming with penguins up here in the Arctic. That was sarcasm. No, we're not. And then the Harriman expedition, just a few miles east of here, discovered what's called College Fjord, and all the glaciers in College Fjord, they named after Ivy League schools. So you have Princeton Glacier, Harvard Glacier, Stanford Glacier, etc. So they do themes like that because it's easy to remember them. There's a bird ridge up there, and all the peaks are named after different parts of the body. So there's Beak Point, there's Wing Point, there's Foot Point. Because we needed to learn anatomy while we were. So now we're at the mouth of the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel. It is a toll tunnel, and it is a mixed-use tunnel. So the road network you see over here normally is a staging area for cars, but it looks like the tunnel is open to southbound traffic right now. So what I'm guessing is that we're going to jump right on in. Sometimes we might have to wait here for as much as 30 minutes because it is a one-way tunnel. So it's mixed use, cars and trains use it. It's one lane, which means you can only go northbound or southbound, never both. So that means the trains have to share it with the cars, so that takes time, and northbound has to wait its turn for southbound and vice versa, so that takes time. So it can take up to 40 minutes of sitting right here, waiting for the tunnel to open for us. We are stopping, so that means we're holding for just a few minutes. That's fine. Now, your ship is literally on the other side of this mountain. The Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel is the longest rail tunnel in North America. 2 miles, 2.5 miles, 13,000 feet. No, just 2 miles, just 2 miles. And the reason I remember that is because every quarter of a mile there is a safe house on the track east side, and those safe houses are numbered 1 through 8. So as we go through, if you see a little door that has a 1, we're a quarter mile in. See a door that has a 2, we're a quarter mile in. Those were installed in 2000 for traffic, in case there was a traffic accident inside the tunnel and like a fire broke out and things became unsafe. Motorists could stop, get out of their car, and rush inside one of those rooms, and there would be water. There's actually rations in there as well, and people can save. They're not for us. We are the safe house for this, so we don't need to worry about it. But 50 people can hang out in each one of those tunnels. So all told, that tunnel can hold 400 people in a holding zone to keep them safe while crews clear the tunnel out in case there's an accident. There's only been 1 or 2 auto incidents in the tunnel in the 26 years since it's been opened up. And they've been kind of fender bender things. I think I have heard of 1 fire, but there's actually 2 helicopter-style jet engines parked at the front and 2 more parked at the back that suck all the air out of the tunnel and keep the air fresh, because our diesel exhaust would accumulate in there and be a hazard for motorists. And on the other side is Whittier. As I was telling you, there was a secret army base built between 1940 and 1942. And part of the reason it was chosen is because its proximity to Anchorage, and also because the weather is terrible here. And because we're so close to Tokyo, Japanese spy planes were flying over this part of Alaska, but because Whittier is almost always covered by clouds, the Army was pretty confident that the base wouldn't be discovered, so that the enemies in World War II would be like, where are they getting all that military gear way up here in Alaska? We're not telling. And after World War II, the Army decommissioned the base and sold it back to the state, and that's when it became the major railroad hub that it is today. All of the rolling stock that you've seen all day long on the Alaska Railroad comes into the port of Whittier. We have the only rail dock on the entire main line. And so when these cars were built in Colorado back in 2006, they put them on a rail barge in Bellingham, Washington, shipped them up to Whittier, and put them into service from this spot. So this is where these cars all entered the main line. Okay, we didn't have to wait long. We're gonna go into the tunnel now. And this is time for me to start giving you instructions for how to get off the train. You guys already checked onto your cruise ship?
Yes.
When we get on the other side of the tunnel, you'll see the Western M. Right there on the horizon, it'll be on track east, but towards the south side, the track south side. There'll be one more really beautiful glacier to look at, also on track east. I'll point that out for you. But while we're inside the tunnel, it's not very picturesque, it's just dark. I'm gonna go through and take a trash bag, and any more trash that you've got, I'm gonna get that for you. Oh, and let me give this last one. And then our disembarkation procedure. I'm gonna put my jacket on, my rain jacket. You probably should too. The weather's not great on the other side of this tunnel.
Hello. All right, so that is the glacier there on your left. All right, unfortunately, it is time for me to say goodbye to you guys. Please stay seated though, please stay seated. I hope you guys had a great time as I did. Today has been amazing. I think I can attribute that to Greg. He's one of my absolute favorite rail guides. He's so knowledgeable, and as you guys could tell, the wildlife love him too. We've never seen this much wildlife. It's absolutely insane. So I know some of you were asking, is there another eagle? Something? No? Okay. Some of you were asking how you can show your appreciation. He is going to be the last person you see on your way out. So it'd be a great time to show your gratitude because he is amazing. He works so hard at what he does. And yeah, on top of being a professor, he studies for this, like, as you know, he's an Alaskan. So you guys got some great information and a great rail guide today. So again, if you can, please show your appreciation to him. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your cruise. And yeah, have a great day. Remember, please stay seated. I will let you know when it's time to get up. It's not going to be for a while. And honestly, you know how it works. It's like an airplane. So stay seated, relax, and we'll get you out of here as quickly as possible. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, the room partially instructed.
No, they're regular rooms up there. They're just up there by So where your lifeboats are is for.
At least it's not that.